My name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. Today I'm at my very first rental house. It's actually a beautiful day here in Charlotte, and we've been working on reinforcing this deck over here and kind of rebuilding it. And it kind of got me thinking about, I hear from time to time people say, hey, I can't afford to do rehabs, I can't afford to do anything, it costs too much money. Well, buy and hold real estate is really just a trade-off of time and money. If you have the money, you hire someone to hire someone's time to do the work. If you're like us and you don't quite have the money, you come out here and trade your time for it. I actually don't mind doing that right now. I've said in previous videos, which I'm sure you've not seen, that I don't mind doing a lot of work up front to not have to do anything on the back end. And that's worked out well for me in my IT career, but I think it's going to work out in life with buy and hold real estate. So this particular home has a deck that was here when I purchased it. And the biggest problem that I had, that I made the biggest mistake when I was first starting out, is I didn't do the maintenance, at least on the exterior of this house. And it not only made problems on the exterior, it made problems on the interior as well. And because I didn't want to do that, or because I didn't know how to do it, certainly in the beginning, we're having to pay for it now. We're actually... I've said in previous videos, and you can kind of see behind me, we pulled off all the siding and we're putting up maintenance-free vinyl siding. It's got new windows. It's gonna, the old deck, we basically, it's got 2x6s as the deck boards, and they're actually not that bad of shape. The side that was sunny side up, obviously, is pretty well destroyed. But what I ended up doing is, to save some money, but it's a trade-off in time, is I pulled the deck boards up, turned them over, pressure washed them, and now I'm painting them with a Bear, which is Home Depot brand, deck over product, which is just some really, really thick paint that I'm sure causes cancer on the touch. So big things that we've learned, or that I've learned out of this, is you need to protect your properties. And that starts with the outside, making sure that everything is sealed up, that you use a good quality caulk, and that you make sure that no water gets in it anywhere. And decks are expensive. Easily, there's 36 boards or 39 boards here. Each board is probably $12 a piece. That adds up very, very quickly just to replace them, versus about $100 worth of paint, a pressure washer, and a few days of my time, and we can make this thing hopefully look pretty awesome. It'll be sealed and hopefully will last 10, 20 years. The idea is to be maintenance free. So we also reinforced the deck. I can walk over here and kind of give you a shot of it. So the deck was a little spongy with the boards, and it's old, it's seen its days. And so what I did is, as you can see here, this is all lumber that I actually dumpster dove out of dumpsters for new construction homes. And I'm sure that you have new construction homes near you. And if you do, it's a great source for building materials like this. And anybody out there will say, oh, dude, you don't have to do all that. Listen, I'm over-engineering the hell out of this thing. I do not want it to have any structural problems. I do not want it to be flimsy. And I need the extra support, because these boards, you can see behind me, they're old, and they're not as stiff as a brand new board. So I'm just putting in some extra material. All it's costing me is screws and time. And this deck should last quite, a couple decades. And if I don't ever have to do maintenance on it again, and it looks good, and we can get a tenant in here who is happy, sees that we put at least some quality effort and quality materials, or at least in this case, quality looking materials with this deck over product, we hopefully can get a family here to stay, 5-10 years. And that's all I want. I want maintenance free. I don't want, the only calls I ever want to hear is, hey, I need a new stove. We pay like $100, $125 for a stove. It's a pain in the butt. But what you don't want to hear is, hey, my deck is falling apart. Hey, my roof is leaking. Or, hey, the siding's falling off. Those things are very, very expensive. So that's why we putting up hopefully maintenance-free vinyl siding. And some people will say, hey, that's cheap stuff, don't use it. But we had masonite up there, which is basically paper. And I dumpster dove, you can see up here, I dumpster dove that house wrap. Hey, it ain't Tyvek, it's not, but it's free, right? The only thing it cost me was, I think they're called button caps, to nail that stuff up, and time. So in the beginning, if you're like me, I'm trading some time for money. And then once you get the money, you can then trade the money for the time. Right now it's just building up that base rent roll every month so that we can hit financial freedom. And then after that, who knows, hire a crew or, find just a good contractor. Anyways, I hope you go out there and live the You Won't Stop Me lifestyle. I can tell you it's all about three things: wisdom, experience, and knowledge. Once you have those things, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It doesn't matter if there's an up economy or a down economy. It doesn't matter, or a sideways economy. It just doesn't matter. Short of aliens coming here, you have the knowledge to get it all back if it gets taken away from you. And hopefully, have the knowledge to take it to scale it to new levels of financial freedom. Anyways, I wish you success.